us. Dude need to ease on up. Dude, you wanna act on gut, but dude get shut like Flavor Shut. Chick say she ain't down, but chick backstage when we in town. She like men on drum. She wanna hit and run. Yeah, that's the
On to Heart for the Community on heart4radio.com. We are broadcasting live from RMC Studios in Los Angeles, California on the Punch It Radio Network. Quick shout out to our awesome executive producer, Larry Witherspoon, and our lovely engineer, Miss Kiki, for keeping us on track and making us sound good. How are you, Catherine?
I'm doing fantabulous. Fantabulous. Thank you.
You're welcome. Stephanie, how are you doing over there?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. So that was kind of a fun song to start the show with. I know, you were actually dancing.
You were both dancing.
Oh, yeah, you see how she did that, right?
Yeah. So we have a fun show today, and we wanted to kind of pick music that was high energy, that got you off your seats, maybe a little seat dancing, because we're going to talk about, the issue of childhood obesity and what are some of the causes, what are some of the ways that we can, as a community, come together and kind of, get rid of it, eliminate it, because there's so many diseases that are attached to, childhood obesity, more so than I think like 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Right.
So, Catherine, you have a very special guest with us who's going to help us understand more about childhood obesity, and so does Stephanie.
Yes. I'd like to introduce Damega, who's a celebrity fitness trainer and who has developed, who has a passion for childhood obesity and has just developed a holistic approach. And that's what I really enjoy about his program. It's spiritual, it's physical, it's all the things that you need to. And when I met Damega several years ago, it was his spiritual side that really kind of attracted me to him. And I know that in dealing with obesity, a lot of it is a psychological issue. A lot of it is personal issues that we deal with, stress eating and different things we face. And so, again, I think what I enjoy about, again, his program is the fact that it's so holistic. So I'll let him talk a little bit more about that. But thank you so much, Damega, for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure to be here. Absolutely. How's everybody doing today?
Wonderful.
We're doing great.
Good.
So you want to tell us about your program?
Oh, well, here we go. We're dealing with childhood obesity, so my nonprofit is Damega Codes for Alternative Youth. In other words, kids that deal with being overweight, slightly obese to completely obese, and people can look and see the difference.
Where does it start?
Childhood obesity?
Yes.
With the parents.
Okay.
That's where it ends at, too.
And so how does your program kind of address that?
My program addresses the parents.
Okay. So you can tell us a little bit about that?
It has nothing. That's the thing to it. It has nothing to do with the kids. Kids follow their parents. So you make sure that the parents have a great understanding of a great fitness regimen for the kids, and just follow that instead of giving them things that are not going to be beneficial or productive for them. Work out with them. How many of y'all ever seen your parents working out with their kids?
Very
Never.
rarely.
Yeah.
You never do, but you always see them out eating at Denny's and here and there, and Denny's don't be calling in talking about y'all gonna sue me and stuff. But I mean, it's just different. Different things that you look at. It's just like any other thing in life. It's how you approach it. And a lot of people can tell you everything that's going on outside here, but not with the health of their children.
Right.
So childhood obesity starts with the parents.
Okay.
And it ends with the parents. I created Easeplexity, which is easy movements, complex results. So this is something that everybody can do. You can teach your parents. Your parents could teach their parents.
Wow.
So in other words, you got grandparents that work out with the grandkids. There's just so many different ways that it could be cured that's right in front of us that people never really pay attention to. I mean, because people too busy focused on the problem, and the solution is always in front of you. There's never been a problem that hasn't been a solution for it.
That's awesome.
Even if it hasn't manifested itself yet, that does not mean it does not exist.
That's
cool.
true. That's
Very
true.
true.
That's true. And on the phone, we have our another guest. And Stephanie, do you want to introduce your guest?
My guest is Eliza Kingsford, and she's a licensed psychotherapist specializing in weight management and body image, and she's the director and clinical service for Wellsprings, which is a division of CRC Health Group. And I talked to a few people about her, and they just couldn't stop talking about her. She's also, I believe, also has been the person that speaks on this specific area for Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz. So I'm excited to have her on. Eliza, how are you?
I'm well, Stephanie. Thank you.
Did I introduce you correctly, or are there any other things you want to add in there?
No, that was very kind. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Wellsprings?
Absolutely. As Stephanie mentioned, I'm the clinical director for Wellspring and our programs, and we are currently the leading provider of obesity treatment programs we have programs for adult all the way through young kids, age 5 and up. And so we provide summer camps, sporting schools, and adult residential facilities for the treatment of obesity and overweight, reaching thousands of people a year. It's really a fulfilling career to be in. It's also, as you know, a rising epidemic that we're trying to change the trajectory of. So we incorporate what's called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, as I'll shorten it. We incorporate CBT, nutrition, fitness, exercise, culinary, all of the things that you would think of that might contribute to changing behavior. To be successful, we incorporate those into our program. We're seeing really amazing results. So I'm very proud to be a part of such an organization and to be doing the work that I love.
Nice.
You know, one of the things that I really liked about the Wellspring, and I'll just give it out, it's wellspringweightloss.com, about the website, is you have this whole area of facts and different, fact sheets or articles. So actually, in preparing for, today's session or segment, I kind of went through and I read several of, your articles that you posted. And it was nice to be able to go to one website and have a variety of different things. Because on your website, you also talk about recipes and, in addition to some of the things that you're doing as an organization.
Yeah, I think it's important to get that information out. I think it's important for people to be able to see the facts, to see the statistics, to see the health issues and the cost of obesity, and to really get a good grasp on the whole picture of just what an epidemic this problem is. So, it's one of the reasons why we want to put those resources out there.
Absolutely. And I guess this question can actually be for Damega or you, Eliza, is, I tend to use overweight and obesity interchangeably, but I think they're actually different. Are they not? Or are they the same?
No, they're significantly different.
Okay.
I mean, technically they are categorized based on body mass index, or BMI. So if you are between 25.0 and 30.0 on a body mass index chart, you are technically considered in the overweight category. If you are 30 to 35, you are technically considered in the struggling with obesity category. 35 and above gets into severe obesity, etc. So they are actually quite different.
Okay. One of the things that I liked about your website, Damega, is, you focus a lot, not just on the body, but also on the mind and the soul too, because it's sort of a holistic approach that you're taking in trying to help people change, I guess similar to what Eliza was saying, a behavior. It's a behavior that we've learned over time, we've learned how to make, I guess, bad choices on.
Right.
I do it all the time on what foods we put in our mouth, the types of things we drink. Like probably not a good idea to drink a bunch of Pit Bull energy drinks, even though they're really good.
But I think that it goes a little bit deeper, and I think that's probably what Damega and what Eliza is looking at, is in the sense that it's an emotional aspect of it. Because even the studies they've done on people who have done the tummy tucks and things like that, the weight comes back because the behavior never changes. If you never deal with the emotional issue of it, So I know early on, I think even on Oprah, I saw she was kind of helping people with weight loss, and they did a couple of things when I was really popular. But they dealt with the issue of the emotional aspects of it. So a person can go through the whole get the but they can go through get the whole what's the thing they do with the gastric bypass, and do all those things to lose the weight. But if you never actually deal with the psychological or the spiritual or the wholeness of the individual, and never actually get to the root of the problem, I have friends that have had the tummy tucks, and then they're gaining weight back within a very short period of time. So $10,000 later, you look great, and then all of a sudden you've gained 10 or 15 pounds within 2 or 3 months of spending the 10 grand, and you're barely even healed. And so again, by not dealing with that holistic side, and again, that's what I've always appreciated about Damega. What do you do?
Well, see, let's get back to the kids for a minute.
Okay.
People gonna do the lap bands, and they're gonna do everything that they can that is absolutely easy to do without them having to do anything. But let's get back to the kids for a minute. The kids are obese because they are followers of leaders. Their parents are their leaders. Or, sometimes you have kids that are misplaced, they're in foster homes and things like that. It should be in everyone's regimen, just like you had PE class in school. Everyone had to stay in shape and things like that. Well, at least pretend. You know what I mean? Kids don't even pretend anymore. They they don't exercise, they don't work out, and this starts with the parents. Unless you are a child that has some type of physical malfunction or something like that, there's no reason that you should not be in shape. None. And it's just, if people in your family, if everyone is working out, the kids should be in shape. Right. Bottom line, they're going to eat what's in the refrigerator.
Right.
The kids didn't go grocery shopping. Well, I don't know, maybe some kids do go grocery shopping nowadays.
Throwing stuff in the basket.
Yeah, but unless you have a disease or thyroid or something like that, or as a child something is physically wrong with you, then it all starts with the emotions. And it starts with the emotions that's in the adults.
Right.
Even if a child is if a child is obese and the parents are in shape, that means that they didn't focus enough on the child's problem.
Right. Okay.
As opposed to just saying, well, that's just them. It's not just them. No. They have a problem, and if you didn't focus to see what the problem is, that's how they ended up, because they're still kids.
Right.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and then come back, because I'd like Eliza to weigh in as well.
Yes.
on what Damega was saying. So we'll be right back with Heart for the Community. We're going into one of my favorite by Fatboy Slim, the Rockafeller Skank.
She'll be partying during the break.
The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother.